Good evening. Today we can see the mechanism of hearing. So first we can see the function of external ear. For the understanding, I am giving one schematic representation. This pinna is auditory matters. Here the eardrum. Here this malleus. This diagram, the schematic representation for the understanding. See here is a pinna, is a part of external ear which collect the sound waves and concentrated and directed to the middle ear through the auditory matters, that is auditory canal. So pinna used to collect the sound waves and directed to the middle ear through the auditory canal. Auditory canal. Then it is the sound waves come and strike on the eardrum. That is tympanum. Tympanum get vibrated. The vibration transmitted to the inner ear through the ear ossicle. The three bones, the soft bones, are collectively called ear ossicle. Ear ossicle. It consists of malleus, then incus, and the step. These are the three bones, soft bone called ear ossicle. So now we can say the eardrum get vibrated. The vibration, the loud vibration transmitted into the oval window. This is a oval window. Oval window in the inner ear. Okay. Then here, so what is the function of the ear ossicle? Ear ossicle used to transmit the sound vibration from the eardrum to the oval window in the inner ear, that is in the cochlea. It not only transmit, it also amplitude the sound vibration. The amplitude the sound vibration about to 1.3 times. How many times it increase the sound vibration? 1.3 times. Okay. Then the space area of the eardrum is about 90 millimeter square. That is square millimeter. The space area of the oval window is about 3.2 millimeter square. Then there is one canal. It is open from the middle ear to the nasopharynx. It is called Eustachian canal. Eustachian canal. The Eustachian canal is a valvulated. The valve open at the time of yawning, then shaving and talking and etc. and allow the air into the middle ear. Middle ear is a bony labyrinth. It is present in the temporal bone. It is the air-filled cavity. The air is the Eustachian canal allow the air flow into the middle ear and maintain the air pressure. Maintain the air pressure. The middle ear and the atmosphere equal. So it equalize the air pressure, the atmosphere, and also in the middle ear, used for the transmission of the sound vibration from through the ear ossicle. So now you know what is eustachian canal. It is the canal is connect what is the middle ear to the nasopharynx. Nasopharynx. What is the function? It equalizes the air pressure in the middle ear and the external atmospheric pressure. Okay. Then go to this cochlea. Cochlea is a coiled structure, apple snails shaped coiled structure. It is coiled about 2.75 times. This is just like a coiled structure. See here? It's like apple snail, like a coiled structure. It is coiled how many times? 2.75 times. Okay? Then it is separated into 3 canals. Cochlea is separated into 3 canals. 1, 2, 3. 3 canals by 2 membrane. One is resinous membrane. This is called resinous membrane. Other is called the basilar membrane. This is a basilar membrane. Basilar membrane. So the cochlea is a coiled apple snail-like structure. It is coiled about 2.5 times, and it is separated or divided into 3 canals by 2 membrane. What are the? Resinous membrane and the basilar membrane. The first canal is called scala vestibuli. Scala vestibuli. And the middle one is called scala media. The middle is called scala media. The lower one is called scala tympanum. Scala tympanum. These are the 3 canals. The scala vestibuli and the scala tympanum are filled with one fluid is called perilymph. Perilymph. Here also perilymph. The scala media is filled with endolymph. Scala media is filled with endolymph. Okay. So you know, it is separated into 3 canals by 2 membrane. The resinous membrane and basilar membrane. Resinous membrane is thick and basilar membrane is thin. And in the 3 canals, what are them? Scala vestibuli, middle is a scala media, and the scala is a scala tympanum. Then the scala vestibuli and the scala tympanum is filled with perilymph, one fluid called perilymph. The scala media is filled with endolymph. Endolymph. Then the basilar membrane is consist of group of sensory cells. Basilar membrane consists of what? Group of sensory hair cells. The sensory hair cells are called organ of Corti. The sensory hair cells are called what? Organ of Corti. There are 4 rows of sensory cells. The 4 rows of sensory cells are called organ of Corti. Organ of Corti. How many rows? 4 rows. There is a thin membrane embedded over the sensory hairs is called tectorial membrane. It is given only in diagram, not in the test. Tectorial membrane. Then come to the mechanism. This is a structure of cochlea. This may be one 5-mark question. The sound vibration transmitted through the ear ossicle and strike on the oval window. The oval window get vibrated. the sound vibration, now it is transmitted into pressure waves in the liquid filled in the cochlea. So we know the scala vestibuli and the scala tympanum is filled with what? Perilimb, and middle is filled with what? Endolimb. So now the sound vibration is converted into what? Pressure waves. The pressure waves first flow through this scala vestibuli, then scala tympanum, then it leaves the cochlea through the oval window. This is a oval window. No, not oval window, round window. So it enters through the oval window and exits through the round window. It is used for the continuous flow of what? The sound, pressure waves inside the cochlea. Inside the cochlea. Okay? When the pressure waves pass through the scala vestibuli and the scala tympanum, the vibration is transmitted to the endolimb. Vibration transmitted to the endolimb. So the endolimb get vibrated. Endolimb and basilar membrane, it transmitted to endolimb as well as basilar membrane, it get vibrated. When the basilar membrane vibrates, just like this is a tectorial membrane, this is a sensory hairs, it is contact with the tectorial membrane. When it is connected with what? Basilar membrane. When the basilar membrane vibrates, the hairs are contact with the tectorial membrane and cause the bending of the hair. Bending of hair. The bending of the hair, it gets the stimuli, and stimuli is converted into electrical impulse. Electrical impulse is transmitted to the brain through the acoustic nerve, where it interprets and recognizes the specific sound. Okay? So, the bending of the hair depends upon the pitch of the sound. Pitch of the sound. That means it depends upon the force of pressure waves. That is, depends upon the pitch of the sound. It causes the bending of the hair receives the stimuli and convert into electrical impulse and transmitted to the brain, where it interprets and recognizes the specific sound. The high pitched sound, it is perceived in the basal part of the cochlea. The low pitched sound is perceived in the tip of the cochlea, or apex of the cochlea. Remember the point. The high pitched sound is perceived in the basal part of the cochlea, and low pitched sound in the apex of the cochlea. It is a mechanism of hearing. Okay, first, see here, pinna is used to collect and concentrate the sound waves and transmit, and when what is allowed to pass to the middle ear through auditory canal. The sound waves strike on the tympanum, which get vibrated. Tympanum means eardrum, they vibrated. Then the middle ear. Middle ear is a bony labyrinth. It is surrounded by the temporal bone, and it's a air-filled cavity. And then this middle ear is connected through to the nasopharynx through one canal is called Eustachian canal. This Eustachian canal allows the flow of the air and equalize the air pressure in the middle ear and the external atmosphere. Then you can see the sound vibration from the tympanum is transmitted to the oval window in the cochlea through the three soft bones are collectively called ear ossicle. What are the ear ossicle? Malleus, then step, both are articulated by incus. Malleus connected with the tympanum and the step is connected with the oval window, and both are articulated by what? Incus. It is used to transmit the sound vibration and also to amplitude the sound, increase the sound. It is amplitude about 1.3 times. 1.3 times. The space area of the tympanum is 90 millimeter square, and then the oval window is about 2.2 millimeter square, 3.2 millimeter square. Then go to this cochlea. Cochlea is the organ of hearing. That means inner ear. Inner ear is a membranous labyrinth. It is made up of cochlea, semicircular canal, sacculus, utriculus, and etc. And cochlea is the organ of hearing. Semicircular canal, utriculus, sacculus are involved for what? The body balance. Body balance. Now we can see the cochlea. Cochlea is a coiled apple snail cell like structure. It is coiled about 2.75 times, and then it is divided into 3 canal by 2 membrane. What are the membrane? Basilar membrane and resinous membrane. Then there is given to 3 canal. What are the 3 canal? First, this scala vestibuli, then the scala media, and the scala tympanum. Scala tympanum. Then go to this organ of Corti. What are organ of Corti? The group of sensory hair cells present on the basal membrane are called organ of Corti. How many rows of them in organ of Corti? 4 rows of organ of Corti. Then you can say there is a thin membrane embedded over the hairs in the sensory hair cell is called a tectorial membrane. Tectorial membrane. The canals are filled with a fluidic substance. There is the scala vestibuli and the scala tympanum are filled with the perilymph, and the scala media is filled with the endolymph. Now we can say the mechanism. The sound vibration transmitted through the ear ossicle to the inner ear through the oval window. Now the sound vibration convert into what? Pressure waves in the liquid. The pressure waves passes through the scala vestibuli and the scala tympanum and exit through the oval window. It is the adjustment for the continuous flow of the pressure waves. Then we can, when the sound vibration waves, not sound vibrations, the pressure waves pass through the scala vestibuli and scala tympanum, the vibration transmitted to the endolymph, and also it cause the vibration of basilar membrane. When the basilar membrane vibrate, the hair cells are contact with what? Tectorial membrane. Tectorial membrane, and cause the bending of the hair cell. This bend, then hair cells receive the stimuli and convert into impulse and transmitted to the brain, where it interpret and recognize the sound. The high pitch sound is only in the lower portion of the cochlea, and low pitch sound is received in the upper part of the cochlea. That's all about the mechanism of hearing. Is a 10-mark question. Okay. Tell me the space area of the eardrum. How much is the space area of the eardrum? $90 millimeter. Okay. Then what are the membrane which separate the cochlea into 3 canals? The 2 membrane which separate the cochlea into 3 canals. What are the scala vestibuli, scala media, and scala tympanum? What are the membrane? And the resinous membrane. Okay. What is the fluid in the filled in the scala vestibuli and the scala tympanum? Tell me whether the perilymph. Okay. Then what is the thin membrane? It's embedded over the hair cells on the organ of Corti, which is only in the diagram and it's not in the theory part. See the diagram? Tectorial membrane. Okay. Then you can say how many rows of organ of Corti? Then where is the high pitch sound is preserved in cochlea? Basal portion or upper portion? No, high pitch sound in the basal regions. Here, and the high pitch sound is maximum height of the waves near the base of the cochlea, and low pitch sound near the apex. Remember. Then we can see the defect of ear. I mean, there are three types of hearing loss. One is conductive hearing loss. Other one is sensory hearing loss and neural hearing loss. So conducting hearing loss, only the defect in the middle ear and the external ear. Middle ear and the external ear. So conducting hearing loss is the defect in external ear and the middle ear. First we can say the hearing loss due to the secretion of sebaceous gland. So the auditory matters is lined by, the skin of auditory matters is lined by the basal gland is called the sebaceous glands, which is secrete the earwax. Earwax. The earwax deposited and become hardened, and then it narrow the auditory canal. It prevent the flow of the sound waves through the auditory canal. Is the one reason. Second, this the earwax also deposited over the tympanum and become hardened. Then it reduced the vibration of what? The tympanum. The variability of the tympanum is reduced. This leads to the hearing loss. So first, we know this secretion of what? The glands lined in the auditory matrix is sebaceous gland, which secrete the earwax. Earwax is deposited in the auditory canal and auditory matters and reduce the of the sound waves into the middle ear. Second, it is also deposited over the eardrum, and eardrum become thick and hard, and it also reduces. But this can be corrected by removing this deposit, earwax, by use of what? Syringe. Then you can see the conducting hearing loss in the middle ear. The middle ear, it consists of three bones, soft bones called the ear ossicle. What are those? Malleus, incus, step. So there is one liver system used to conduct the sound vibration from the tympanum to the oval window in the inner ear. Here, any dislocation or degeneration in the ear ossicle, which cause the conductive hearing loss. Okay? Any dislocation, that means of this ear ossicle, and damage or degeneration of the ear ossicle is reduce the conduction and cause the conduction hearing loss. Then sensorial hearing loss, that means sensory hearing loss. This is a oval window. Now you know this cochlea. The cochlea is separated into three canals. We already studied the structure. So what is present in the basilar membrane? Sensory hair cell, you know. The sensory hearing loss due to the degeneration or the disorder in, or the defect in the sensory hair cells in the cochlea. That means organ of cortex. So sensory hearing loss due to the degeneration or the destruction or the damage of what? The sensory hair cells in the arranged in the basilar membranes, such as organ of cortex. Then another one, the neural hearing loss. So the nerves arises from all the sensory cells of organ of cortex are converge in one point, and then it is trying to form one nerve is called acoustic nerve. That is auditory nerve. Auditory nerve is carry the impulse from the nerve impulse or electrical impulse from the cochlea to auditory area in the brain where it interprets and recognizes sound, or is the pitch of the sound. So, any damage or degeneration in the nerves connecting the organ of corti to the brain is caused the neural hearing loss. So, what are the hearing loss? Conductive hearing loss. Conductive hearing loss, especially in the external ear and middle ear. Then sensory hearing loss, that is the damage or degeneration of the sensory cells in the organ of corti. And then neural hearing loss, that is a damage or degeneration in the neural cell which connect to the the organ of corti in the basilar membrane of cochlea to the auditory area in the brain. What are the reason for this? Here this is due to the deposition. Another one more is the perforation in the eardrum. Perforation. Perforation means the rupture or the small holes formation in the eardrum. That is due to the infection in the middle ear. Any bacterial or viral infection in the middle ear or the secretion of some fluid in the middle ear which causes the perforation. Then rupture of the eardrum by the hearing apart, the very heavy loud sound which causes the rupture of a eardrum, that also causes the conducting hearing loss. Then we can say there is a another one. You can see this neural hearing loss. Neural hearing loss due to the damage. That also due to the exposure to the louder sound, and the injuries or infection in the ear. Then sensory hearing loss also due to the infection or injuries or exposed to the loud sound or loud noise, that is hearing using the earphone and etc. Then we can say neurosensory or sensory neural hearing loss. That is due to the damage in the sensory cell and also as neural cell which cause the sensory neural hearing loss. These are the different hearing loss. Next we can say the hearing aid. Hearing aid is one of the battery operated electronic device used to improve the communication. What is hearing aid? Hearing aid is a battery operated electronic device used to improve the communication. That means to hear and communicate. Okay. Then the hearing aid, it consists of different parts. You can see this hearing aid. It consists of what is a microphone. The microphone used to receive the sound waves and convert the sound waves into electrical impulse. What is the function of microphone? It receives the sound waves and convert into electrical impulse and transmitted to the ear. Now you can see the function. Next you can see what is a wire. Wire is connected with the earphone. That means you can see the earpiece. Here is consists of what speaker. Here this electrical impulse is transmitted through the wire to the speaker, where in the speaker it converts the electrical impulse into sound waves. Electrical impulse into sound waves, and the person can hear. Then there is the one tiny wheel which is used to adjust the sound and also used to amplitude the sound. Amplitude the sound vibration for the easy hearing. Is a hearing. Then this battery and microphone, then amplifier, etc. is fixed in one frame and fixed in the outside of the body. Then wire is connected with the speaker. Speaker is fixed in the external ear. External ear. Then it is used for the hearing. If any fluid secretion in the middle ear or any infection in the middle ear, this what is hearing aid is fixed in a glass frame and fixed in the outside of the body. That is, you can see that fixed in the outside of the ear. That is a hearing aid. Then other hearing aid, you can see that is some this in the door hauling bell. Instead of hauling bell, they are using the flash of light. Then instead of this telephone receiver, there is a flash of light, and guide dog or the different types of other hearing aid. Okay, this is one 5-mark question. Write short notes on hearing aid, or the 10-mark question, write an essay on the hearing defect and also hearing aid. Then go to this noise. The noise, the word derived from Latin, that is nausea. Nausea means sickness, feeling, adjective vomiting. So the noise word derived from Latin is the nausea. The nausea means sickness, feeling in the stomach, adjective vomiting. So what is noise? Noise means is the unwanted or undesirable sound dumped in the atmosphere which affect the concentration of the people. So what is noise? Noise is a unwanted, that means undesirable and undesirable sound dumped in the atmosphere which affect the hearing capacity and also the concentration of the people. It's called noise. So then we can see the sources of noise. There are two sources of noise. One is the industrialized sources of noise. Another one is the non-industrialized sources of noise. What are the industrialized sources? That means generator, motor, pump, and machine are used in the industries, which cause the industrialized sources of noise. Non-industrialized sources mean the road vehicles, aircraft, and household applicants, etc. are the non-industrialized sources of noise. Now come to one point, that is unit of noise. What is the unit to measure the noise? Decibel. That is a 1-mark question. Then you can say how much is the industrialized recognized level of noise? That is 1-mark question. 81 decibel to 120 decibel. Underline this important point. So how much is the recognized level of industrialized noise? That means 81 to 120 decibel. Okay. Then the loud noise, that means above 130 decibel, which cause the permanent damage in the muscles in the middle ear. What are the muscles in the middle ear? The soft bone we studied, What are the malleus, incus, step, which is affected, and it causes the damage or the dislocation and also affect the stiffness of these are the muscles in the middle ear, which affect the hearing capacity. Now is the important 5-mark question. What are the effect of noise pollution? First we can see the prolonged exposure to the high noise, which partially responsible for the mental change and cause the violent behavior. What is mental change and violent behavior? Prolonged exposure to the noise. Second, it is also partially responsible for the consumption of alcohol, then drug and sleeping pills and smoking, etc. It's due to the noise. First, it is responsible for what? It is the mental change and lead the violent behavior. Second, it's partially responsible for the consumption of alcohol, drug, sleeping tablet, and smoking, and etc. Then it causes the cardiovascular problem. Cardiovascular problem. Then fourth one, this which is partially responsible for the aggravation of the peptic ulcer and asthma. Asthma ulcer responsibility. Then fifth one, this cause the constriction of glomerular capillary. If the Bowman capsule, this word Bowman capsule. In the Bowman capsule, globulus. This is a glomerulus. The blood capillaries inside the Bowman capsule is called what? Glomerulus. The glomerulus, this is one of the capillary. It causes the constriction of glomerular capillary. Constriction of the churunga chedu. That the flow of the blood is checked. And it causes the increase the blood pressure. So, it is responsible for the constriction of glomerular capillaries and increase the blood pressure and decrease the flow of what? This the blood through the capillaries. And the last, the continuous exposed to the noise, which causes the temporary hearing capacity of the people. These are the effect of noise pollution. Is a 5-mark question. So what is the prolonged exposed to the unpleasant noise, which causes the mental change? What are the first one? That's violent behavior. Second, it is responsible for the consumption of alcohol, drug addict, and then the smoking, etc. Then third one, it causes the cardiovascular problem. Fourth one, it is responsible for the peptic ulcer. That means aggravate the peptic ulcer and asthma. Then fifth one, it causes the constriction of the glomerular capillary and increase the blood pressure. So there is the defect in the urine formation. And the last, it causes the temporary hearing capacity. The person who is working in the noise section in the factory or industries and etc. This is one 5-mark question. Okay. Then you can see the skin. Skin is the major organs in our body. This is about 8% in the body surface. Now see here. Skin is an important organ. How much percentage weight of the skin in the body? That means 8% in the total weight of the body. And the total surface area is 1.1 square meter to 2.2 square meter. This is the total surface area of the skin. Skin is one of the interspace between the atmosphere and the internal tissue, internal organ. So tell me, how much is the weight of the skin in the total weight of our body? About 8%. How much is the total surface area of the skin? How much is the total surface area of the skin? 1.1 square meter to 2.2 square meter. So it is one of the important interspace. Interspace means between. What is between the atmosphere and the internal tissue. Appo skin da namakku atmosphere ku internal tissue ku oru interspace ah செயல்படுது. And then the skin is what is a mucus. It is continued with the mucus in all the body cavities and the conjunctiva in the surface of the eye. Then you can see the various structures in the skin. What are the various structures? We know the sweat glands, then the main hair follicles, and then the scales, and or the further, etc. Or the different integumentary structure. But in human being, the hair, and the sweat gland. And sweat glands are separated into two types. One is murocrine glands, another one is apocrine gland. Tell me, what are the two types of sweat glands? Murocrine and apocrine. Murocrine and apocrine. So murocrine gland is common. It is present throughout our body surface, and it is open in the general surface of the body through the sweat pore. See here, this is the surface of the skin. Here, this this hair follicle. So it's a sweat gland. Sweat gland secretes the sweat and passes through the sweat duct and open in the surface of the skin through the sweat pore. Sweat pore is the murocrine gland. It is open in the general surface of the skin or sometimes open in the base of the hair follicles. Hair follicles. Okay. Then apocrine glands. Apocrine glands is another type of sweat gland which is used to secrete one oily sweat, and it is present in the axilla, pubic, and the main perianal region and etc. Which is agreed what? One oily sweat. And it is also open in the general body surface or at the base of what? Hair follicles. Base of the hair follicle. Remember the two types of sweat glands, varies and is agreed what? So merocrine, apocrine. Merocrine is general throughout the body surface and open directly to the surface of the skin through the sweat pore or at the base of the hair follicle. But apocrine is agreed the oily the sweat, and it is present in the armpits, axilla, apex and perianal region, and it is also open in the general body surface through the sweat pore or the at the base of the hair follicles. Then dermis. Dermis means below the epidermis is a dermis. Here this is a basement layer between the epidermis and the dermis. Dermis is made up of the connective tissue. The connective collagen tissue, It's a tissue fiber, medullary soft tissue fiber, and it is provided with a lot of compartment. The compartment for the blood vessel, compartment for the nerves, and also it consists of compartment for the lymphatic vessels and etc. Then it will give the strength and strength of the muscles, and then this it is also consists of number of sensory receptor cell, which is used to receive the sensation like touch, temperature, warm, cold, and vibration and etc. Tell me, this dermis is consists of what? Connective collagen muscle fiber, which give the strength to the muscle, and it also consists of number of compartment, that means structures, for the blood vessel, for the lymphatic vessel, for the nerve cells and etc. And also it consists of number of wide range of receptor cell. The receptor cell used for what? The touch, pain, pressure, warm, cold and vibration sense, etc. Okay. Now you can see one important 5-mark question. What are the important functions of skin? It's a very important 5-mark question. Skin forms the effective barrier against to the infection. So we can study this one of the anatomical barrier. Skin is an anatomical barrier. So அதாவது நம்ம பாடியில இருக்கக்கூடிய ஒரு என்னது தடை, அதாவது பாக்டீரியா வைரஸ் நம்ம பாடிக்குள்ள நுழையாத தடுக்கக்கூடிய ஒரு தடை. அதான் is one of the barrier which prevent the entry of the foreign particle inside the body, that is microbes, and prevent the dehydration and provide the defense against the chemical, osmotic and thermal and photic damage. So prevent the dehydration, it prevent the loss of water from the body. அதாவது நீ ஒரு டெட் பிளான்ட் பார்ட்டோ ஒரு அனிமல் பார்ட்டோ நம்ம போட்டோம்னா அது என்ன செய்யும், உடனே ட்ரை ஆயிரும். அது சன்லைட்ல போட்டோம்னா அது ட்ரை ஆயிடும். சோ இட்ஸ் பிகாஸ் த டீஹைட்ரேஷன், லாஸ் ஆஃப் வாட்டர். பட் நம்ம லிவிங் பாடி அப்படி இருந்தா அப்படி ட்ரை ஆகாது. So the skin which prevent the dehydration, and also it provide the the support from the or the resistant against to the photic damage and osmotic damage and then the thermal damage and etc. அதாவது osmotic damage னா நம்ம ஒரு டெட் செல்லோ இல்ல ஒரு செல்ல ஒரு எடுத்து நம்ம ஒரு சுகர் சொல்யூஷன்ல இல்ல ஒரு சால்ட் சொல்யூஷன்ல போட்டா அது எஸ்ஆஸ்மோசிஸ் நடந்து சுருங்கும்ல. அதே நேரத்துல நம்ம கைய ஒரு சால்ட்ல போட்டோம்னா அது சுருங்காது. it prevent the osmosis, that means osmotic damage, and it prevent give the protection against the chemical, thermal and photic. Photic means light. Then it limit and regulate the heat loss. நம்ம பாடியில இருந்து heat loss பண்ணதுக்கு அதை limit பண்ணி regulate பண்ணும். So it limit and regulate the heat loss. Then it provide the major sensory surface. What are the different sensory receptors? The temperature, touch and warm, cold, vibration, all the different sensory cells are there. So it used to receive different sensation. Then it limit the excretory and absorptive function. Excretion means the loss of a lot of salt and water through the sweat. இந்த எக்ஸ்கிரீஷனை லிமிட் பண்ணோம். அண்ட் அப்சார்ப்டிவ் ஃபங்க்ஷன், நம்ம ஏதாவது ஒரு மெடிசனோ ஏதாவது அப்ளை பண்ணோம்னா அது அப்சார்ப்ஷனையும் லிமிட் பண்ணும். எதை அப்சார்ப் பண்ணணும் எதை அப்சார்ப் பண்ணக்கூடாதுன்னு லிமிட் பண்ணும். ஸோ இட் லிமிட் த எக்ஸ்கிரீட்டரி அண்ட் அப்சார்ப்டிவ். Then it skin which used to produce the vitamin D, Already we studied that skin, when the UV rays irradiate on the main substance stored under the skin is ergostol and then get oxidized and form the vitamin D, calciferol. So the skin is involved for the synthesis of vitamin D. Another one you can say, this, due to the continuous friction coefficient, நம்ம எந்த பொருளையும் அப்படி பிடிக்கிற நேரத்துல எடுக்கிற நேரத்துல என்ன ஆகும், ஃபிரிக்ஷன் ஆகுதுல்ல, அந்த ஃபிரிக்ஷன்னால அந்த ஸ்கின்னுக்கு ஒரு கேரக்டர் டெக்ஸ்சர் கிடைக்குது. So the continuous the friction coefficient provide the character texture to the skin, which is used to hold the various object and various substances. Okay, these are the functions of the skin. So what are them? Skin, which is the effective barrier and protect the body from the entry of the microbes. And the second one, it prevent the dehydration and provide the protection from the photic damage, then the thermic damage and the osmotic damage and etc. Then it limit and regulate the heat loss from the body. Then it provide the different sensory receptor, and then it has the limit in the excretory and absorptive function. And also it used for the formation of what? Vitamin D. Then the friction coefficient provide the correct texture to the skin to hold or to handle various substances. Okay. Then these are the important points about the functions of the skin. Tell me at least 5 functions of the skin. Protective barrier. Second, prevent protection from the dehydration, and provide the protection from the photic and the thermal and osmotic damage. Then limit the heat loss, and then it is limit absorptive and excretory function. Then it provide with a lot of sensory receptors. Then it give what is the character, the friction coefficient provide the character texture to the skin to handle or hold various substances. Okay, study this, one important 5 mark question. Then we can see the melanin pigment. Slide. Wait. So see here, now we know this is a function of middle ear. Just see the slide. Middle ear is a air-filled cavity, It's present in the temporal bone. Temporal bone, we know this, what is that? The frontal bone, then parietal bone, and the temporal bone, etc. So it is present in the temporal bone, bony labyrinth. And there is a way of the main, the eustachian, the middle ear connected with the nasopharynx. The nostril in the pharynx line join through one canal is called eustachian tube. Which is, what is the function? It equalize the air pressure. Then auditory tube, not the auditory tube, the eustachian tube is open. Remember the point? Strike out and write. This eustachian tube open during shaving and swallowing and yawning. That's it keep the pressure, air pressure, both inside and outside of the tympanum. That is in the external atmosphere and the inner middle ear. See here, this what is that? Different part of the the cochlea. There is one tube-like structure. It's coiled structure, Just like first membrane, then basilar membrane. Then you can see the organ of cortex. Then tectorial membrane. See here, the tectorial membrane. Then pressure waves. That become complicated, no? This is a oval window, this is a round window. This is a scala tympanum, the scala vestibuli, scala tympanum, scala media, organ of corti and tectorial membrane and etc. அதுதான் இங்க கொடுத்திருக்காங்க. அது நம்ம பார்க்கிறது ரொம்ப கொஞ்சம் காம்ப்ளிகேட்டடா தெரியும். It's a structure of what? Cochlea. Then three auditory ossicle, auditory bone, that is a ear ossicle. What are they? Malleus attached to the tympanum and the step attached to the oval window of the inner ear, that is cochlea, and incus which articulate both the malleus and the step. Then as the tympanum has area, how much? 90 millimeter square, and the foot plate of the the step is about 3.2 millimeter square. And then the liver system used to transmit the sound vibration and also it amplitude the sound vibration. How much it is amplitude or multiplying the force? About 1.3 times. 1.3 times. Remember this point. Then vibration of the oval window generated what? Pressure waves. Under the point. Pressure waves. I mean, when the sound vibration enter in the liquid, it will become pressure waves. The main in the fluid, in the vestibular canal, then it is passes in the tympanum, and the pressure waves cause what? They transmit to the medial canal, median canal, and vibrate the basilar membrane. The tympanic canal is connect the circular membrane, is called a round window. This adjustment used for the continuous flow of the pressure waves. Then arrangement here allow the pressure waves to transmit through the cochlear fluid. Cochlear fluid means the perilim of the scala vestibuli and the scala tympanum. Then function of cochlea. Inner ear is a bony labyrinth. It is made up of what? The cochlea, say vestibuli, then semicircular canal, utriculus. Semicircular canal, utriculus, and vestibuli used for the body balance, and the cochlea used for the organ, and the men they used for hearing. So, which is a hearing organ? Cochlea. Then cochlea portion of the labyrinth is a tubule coiled. You know how many times it is coiled? About 2.75 times. Remember this point. And throughout the length, the cochlea is divided into three compartments by how many? Two membrane. What are the? Basilar membrane and resinar membrane. And the middle compartment is scala media. It is containing what? Endolimb. And the other two, scala vestibuli and scala tympanum, is contained or filled with the perilimb. Remember the point. So middle endolimb and the scala vestibuli and the tympanum is filled with the perilimb. See here, this is cochlea cross section. Now you can see this is a resinous membrane. Here the basilar membrane, and this scala vestibuli, scala medium, scala tympanum. That's a basilar membrane consists of what? Group of sensory cells. The sensory cells are called the organ of corti. It is embedded by one membrane. Is called the tectorial membrane. See here, the membrane. It's a tectorial membrane. Tectorial membrane. See here, this is a sensory hair cell which is embedded with the tectorial membrane. Then organ of corti located on the basilar membrane. Remember one more question. The organ of corti is contain auditory receptors. Auditory means sensory receptor cell. There are 4 rows of sensory hair. Remember one more question. Arises from the basilar membrane. Then the stimulation of the hairs. What are them? The movement of footstep of the what is the step? Set up a series of what? Waves in the perilimb. What waves? Pressure waves in the perilimb. This in turn causes the vibration of the basilar membrane, and hence the endolimb of the scala media is vibrated. And then the waves deflect the Reissner's membrane, and this turn produces the disturbance in the basilar membrane, which cause the, remember the point, bend the hair of the hair cells of the organ of corti. Bending of what? The hairs of the hair cells in the organ of corti. This leads to the development of what? Action potential, that means electrical impulse. That's mean sound vibration will be converted into electrical impulse. It is carried to the brain through the auditory nerve. Auditory means hearing nerve. So, okay. The site of maximum distortion in the organ of corti is determined by what? The frequency of sound. Then high pitch sound, remember one more question, high pitch sound is at the maximum of height in the waves is near what? Base of the cochlea is important point. And the low pitch sound at the apex of the cochlea. Okay. Now these are the point is for the essay question. And these are all the steps we know. And the defect of ear we know already, we studied lot of things. Now we can see the functions of the main skin. It's important, the 5 more question. So effect of noise, they are exposed to noise, to unpleasant noise may lead what? Mental disturbance, that means mental change, that causes the violent behavior, 1 point. Second, noise also partially responsible for increase the consumption of what? Alcohol, drug, tranquilizer, and sleeping pills, and also etc. The noise also contribute what? The cardiovascular problem. Vascular means blood vessel, cardio means heart. And the peptic ulcer and asthma are aggravated. Then small blood vessel in the glomerulus, it will cause the constriction and increase the, ultimately increase the blood pressure, and that will reduce the urine output and damage the, and the person exposed to the excessive noise is caused the temporary impairment in the hearing capacity. These are the point. 1, 2, then 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, these are the effect of noise pollution. Okay, we will continue the in the next class. Okay, thank you. Okay.